Hello you guys and welcome back on my channel. I know, it's been a long time. I apologize for that, but I've been pretty busy with summer break and then I had to go back to the school and I also have a job. So yeah, for those of you who may not know, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I've also been pretty inspired those last few weeks after the Wilhelm series on Ashibabaon, and I've been painting a lot and drawing. So if that's something you're interested in and if you just like enjoy my content and you would like to see what I do except videos on YouTube, you can follow me on Twitter. The most amazing thing also happened. Edwin kind of ended up with one of my painting in his hands, and I'm so thankful for the person who made that happen. They had this amazing idea which was making a fan book for Edwin, and I participated, but I didn't know that my drawing had been like chosen. I mean, not chosen, but like the time I sent the email with my participation in it, the person who had the idea for the fan book announced on the Twitter that like they probably couldn't get any more into the fan book because so many people had reached out to them in the last days. So I thought that it meant my drawing hadn't been like chosen. And then the other day I was just on Twitter and some people met Edwin in Stockholm and they gave him the fan book, and as I was watching a video I saw him going through the pages and then I like froze and there it was, my painting. And I know it's a small thing and in comparison to all the other interactions that fans have gotten with Edwin, it's probably nothing, but for me it's really special. I've only been painting for a year. COVID did that. So I don't know, it's special to me, and again I'm so grateful to all the people who made that possible, so thank you very much. If you ever watch this video, you have my eternal gratitude. So today we're going to talk a little bit about theories and ideas I have about what season 2 of Young Royals might be about. I know that season 2 still hasn't been confirmed, but honestly, we're getting a season 2. Okay, there are too many hints, too many fans all over the world, too many stories to tell still. I am convinced we're having a season 2. If we're not, I'm really waiting for Netflix to give an explanation as to why, because Young Royals doesn't seem like a show who like cost that much to make. So what would be the reason besides homophobia? Anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to go back to each of the main characters of season 1 and basically share my opinion on what I think is in store for them in season 2. Let's start with the one and only Wilhelm. So season 1 ends on a cliffhanger, but it also ends on Wilhelm looking right at the camera and breaking the fourth wall, just like he did in the first episode, which was a callback to that. But I also think that without reaching too much, with the expression on his face and the fact that the song that's playing is Revolution, I think it can give us a hint that he's not going to be so kind to the monarchy in season 2. I don't see him voluntarily make trouble and like really make the queen's life difficult, but I also don't see him comply that easily, for once because he's angry and also because he doesn't trust her anymore. And I think that's a big like, that could be a big motivation of him kind of like making it harder for her. I don't know how to explain exactly, but so I don't think he's going to do anything too crazy. I don't exactly know what I see for him because in the beginning I was thinking that since he doesn't seem to want the responsibility of being king of Sweden, maybe they could like pass it to someone else in the family, or I mean there is always somebody else, you know, like what the queen said in the car with Edwin, with Wilhelm. I apologize for that. With Wilhelm being the only one who could take over after Eric's death, that's not exactly true. I mean, that's true if she wants to keep it in their family, in their blood, but I'm sure there are other people, because if Wilhelm like ends up dying young or whatever, then what's happening? What happens then? So I'm sure they could like find someone else to replace him, because as I said before, if he really doesn't want to do the job, like why would you want a king who doesn't want to be king? But at the same time, I understand it could be hard for him to like not want to go through with it, even though it's not something he wants, because he feels a sense of responsibility to Eric. And I hope in season 2 he can actually realize that Eric, even though he was loyal to the monarchy, he also wanted Wilhelm to be happy. I think that much is clear. And if he knew what Wilhelm had to sacrifice for it, I don't think Eric would have been fine with his decision. So I hope Wilhelm is going to challenge a bit more the queen and challenge what is right or what isn't. I'm going to talk more about what I think about him and his relationship to Simon and the other characters later in this video, but that's what I think about Wilhelm for now. Simon, this is a very interesting one because many people seem to be convinced that he's going to have another love interest in season 2, and I don't understand how they get this impression. I mean, if you look at TV right now and the tropes we usually see, I get it, but at the same time it's so clear to me that young royals made it their mission to deconstruct and subvert usual tropes, that I don't see them introduce a new love interest for Simon. Mostly because I think he could have enough of a storyline without another love interest. What I'm going to say is going to come from a writer perspective, okay? Since I do write and I have taken lessons on writing and stuff. So when you introduce another love interest, usually it's because it's to create some tension between the main love interest and the character, or to give like a second option to the character, right? That's what the second love interest usually serves for, and usually the main character doesn't end up with the second love interest. That's how things goes on media anyway, not in life. But so Wilhelm doesn't need to see Simon with someone else to realize what is lost. He already knows what is lost, and even if he sees like Simon, go on without him, like it's expected, I think he already knows that at some point, Simon is going to go on with his life, right? So I don't see what it would like bring to the story moving forward. And Simon specifically, I feel like he has enough on his plate. Like in season 2, there is going to be the whole August filming him and Sara knowing and not telling Simon plot. Maybe they're going to do something with his mom, because I know that in the last video I did where I was talking about unpopular opinions and stuff, I said that I thought Linda was a really good mother, and I still stand by that point. But many of you made me realize, and it is true, that she is pretty inactive in the sense that she doesn't she does a great job as taking care of her children and making sure they're okay and stuff like that, but she's pretty passive, and it could be explained, I'm sure of it, but yeah, you shouldn't be that passive as a parent, and she's putting a lot of pressure on Simon's shoulder. So I feel like it could be interesting to see that plays out in season 2. The whole storyline with his dad is also like really, really, really important. And one of the things I want to touch upon, which is linked to Wilhelm and his relationship, is I would be pretty surprised if season 2 doesn't bring back the sex tape, because if we're realistic, Felice managed to find it was August in like 1 or 2 days, right? And we know how the internet works. And even though Wilhelm denied it was him, you can be sure there are some weirdos out there who are like analyzing the video and who are going to try to prove by any means possible that it is him. So I don't see the video thing being resolved. And what I think is actually going to happen is that at some point, people actually are going to be able to prove that yes, it was Wilhelm. And so it's going to put the queen and the whole monarchy in a really tough position, because like they lied. And it was a pretty big lie, because if you remember what Wilhelm said in his denial, he not only said that it wasn't him, but it said, like the message was, it's totally fine for like other people to be queer, basically, but like not the monarchy. You know, basically that's what he said, giving like the actual situation. So I think that's probably what's going to happen, and in that way it could be good, because Wilhelm doesn't actually have to choose to betray the monarchy. Like if it's out that it's him, then it's out. You know what I mean? So I'm guessing the story might take that route, and if they don't, I would be quite surprised, because as I said, we know how the internet works. So I'm waiting for that to happen. But so yeah, in essence, I think Simon has plenty enough on his plate with his dad, Sara, his mom, the aftermath of the sex tape. It doesn't need another love interest. Now let's talk about September, shall we? Sorry. To be honest, I don't know what to expect from him. The part of me that wants to see good storylines and who wants to believe in redemption wants to believe that he truly feels bad for what he did, and that the whole scene with Wilhelm like calling him out and cutting him off his family, even though he was helped by the queen afterwards, I hope it changed something in him, specifically because he failed Eric, and that's a pretty big thing. So I don't know how to explain, because I think that what's really interesting about his character is that he has many flaws, and it was shown to us in many different ways how what's important to him is how the world perceives him and how he perceives himself, and how in essence he doesn't feel good enough, and he has ego issues, like, for sure, and he has flaws that are really bad. Like, he's pretty selfish, he thinks of himself and not others and stuff like that. And I'm not saying I think you can always grow as a person, but can he grow? I don't know. If they do it right, if the writers give him a good enough storyline where he can really like change and become a better person, I would be down for that, because it's always interesting to see people becoming better people. What I'm saying is not that I'm ready to forgive him, like that's really not what I'm saying, but I think it could be interesting, and it would also make it more clear that the real villain of season 2 is actually the monarchy, that we have to dismantle and all of that. We don't need an August anymore, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't want things to be easy for him though. Like, I don't want him to be forgiven in like 2 episodes or whatever, like, hell no. But I want him to try to be better. I think that would be interesting to see. Now, Sara. Sara is really hard, because I liked her a lot in the beginning. And as I said in the video about, I don't remember actually if I said it. I remember talking about that on Twitter and with friends, but I understand why she acted the way she did in the ending of the show, of season 1, sorry. It doesn't mean I condemn her actions, but I understand like her logic. And since she didn't have the heart-to-heart talk with Simon before doing the thing she did, I'm hoping for a redemption for her eventually as well. And I also just want her to realize that she's projecting her own issues onto other people. And I want her to realize that Felice was friends with her because she genuinely liked her, and not because she was like not herself. And it really broke my heart when she like exploded in the kitchen and said what she said to Simon, because like that wasn't true. That was so not true. But so yeah, she is a supporting character, so we don't have a big storyline with her, but I would like to see more of her and her relationship with the dad, with Simon, with Felice, with August as well. And when I say relationship, I don't ever want to see them kiss again. I am still traumatized by that, but I think they could make something interesting with her character as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't know if she's going to tell Simon, because if there is one thing she learned in season 1 is that the truth isn't always the right thing to tell. And in this specific situation, what would the benefit be of telling Simon it was August, like, besides making him angry and uncomfortable and all of that? You know what I mean? Like, especially since there is nothing that can be done against August. I don't see what it could do besides upset him. It's difficult. It's a gray area, I guess. Now Felice. A great character. I was a bit skeptical at first, because I was scared of like where her heart was going as a character. But if there is one thing that is sure, is that I really want to see more of her friendship with Wilhelm, now that things are like clear between them. I would also love to see a friendship bloom between her and Simon, because they're both in the choir. Like, please give us some scenes of them singing together. It would be amazing. And it could be cool to have like her be kind of a bridge for them both, because we've seen at the end of season 1 that Wilhelm and Simon, they're okay. Like, obviously they're not going to be best friends, and they're probably not going to hang out anymore, but they're not at this state where they just ignore the other existence altogether. I still think that if they're like cross each other in the hallways, they're going to say hi and probably have a small chat maybe, but yeah, it's definitely not going to be the same because it would be too like hard and hurtful and just no. But so it would be nice to have her being a bridge between them. And also I hope we're going to see more of her, like her friendship with Sara, but also with the other girls. And she grew into a character that I really like. I think her values are great, and since she's the only other royals, you know, like aristocrat that we've seen having different values and thoughts and stuff like that, I think it could be interesting to explore that, especially with the fact that it ties her and Wilhelm together, because Wilhelm isn't the only one in this. You know, he's not the only one who doesn't really feel like he belongs, or anyway, like for whom it's hard to belong. So I think it would be cool to see that explored. And I don't really know what they could do with her character besides that, because we don't really know her. So, I mean, not that much. You know, she's a supporting character. So I think they could do pretty much everything with her. I just hope they're not going to like make her do that. But I am sensing tension between her and Sara in season 2. Yeah, probably. So those were my thoughts about season 2. If you guys have other ideas you want to share, please leave a comment down below. I will probably like respond and discuss it with you. I think it's always nice to share our opinions about the show. Like I said in the beginning of this video, you can follow me on Twitter if you want to see more of my content, and if you want to have like updates of, I mean, what I'm doing, because I'm not going to be really active on YouTube like from now on until I have other show and stuff to react to, because I actually have a job and a life besides YouTube. I know it's crazy. What I can tell you is coming is kind of a vlog of the Pride Parade I'm going to be involved in this weekend. It's a project I'm pretty excited about because I really love filming and editing and stuff. So maybe you could like find that fun. I don't know. I know you guys are only there for the Young Royals content, but just in case some of you guys are there because you like my company or whatever, you'll have that. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!